My mother was 19 when she got pregnant with me and gave birth to me at 20. In many regards, that's a baby having a baby, or a young adult having a baby, right or wrong? You agree? Right? So my grandmother stepped in to do what a lot of grandmothers have done. She stepped in to raise me. But my grandmother had this mindset. She had this mindset that I don't care where you come from. I don't care where we live. The environment and your circumstances don't have to dictate your future. So she laid down some standards and some expectations. The standards and expectation was this: I don't care what goes on outside the four walls of this home. The one thing I demand from you is an education. I demand that you get an education and do it to the best of your ability. It was non-negotiable. And I say that for a reason, because goals, it's important for everyone to have goals. Goals change. Standards do not. Goals change. Standards do not. And there was 3 things that my grandmother imparted. And I know our time is limited. There's 3 things that she imparted that really helped me. And the first one is this. She said, Reggie, you need to have a positive attitude. You need to have a positive attitude. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I, Reggie Wright, did not like school. Like, I don't know if y'all have other speakers that stand before you and be like, oh, I love school, and, I'm scholarly. Like, I did well in school. Don't get it twisted. I did well because I understood the standards and the expectations. But my attitude towards school was negative and cynical. I couldn't understand how what I was learning in school would translate to what I had to experience in the real world. Does that make sense? Right? I'm in this inner city urban context, and I'm going to school being taught mainly by people that don't look like me. I felt like they didn't understand me. And I'm like, how is this going to be applicable to real life? But I did have a natural attitude and mindset that said I want to be successful in life. I did care. The one thing that I noticed was the difference between me and my peers is that oftentimes they didn't care. They just thought about the here and now. They just wanted to have a good time. I recognized that if I was going to live and God was going to continue to give me breath in my body, I had to consider how was I going to be effective in society. And one of those things is having the right attitude. Attitude is everything. Attitude is mindset. Attitude is perspective. Attitude can change. It can change your life just like that in the blink of an eye. For an example, if someone was in here, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but if somebody was in here and say, excuse me, Dr. Wright, I don't like school. I despise education. I don't like it. If you have that attitude and you don't have someone in your life that's setting standards and expectations, you're probably not going to do well academically, but it doesn't mean you don't have the ability. See, I have a 12-year-old son named Isaiah. He's in the 7th grade right now. I had him memorize an excerpt out of a book, and it's titled Attitude vs. Ability. I had him memorize it for a reason, because I want him to understand. Isaiah, it doesn't matter what ability you have. It's about your attitude. You can have all the talent in the world. I went to school with people that was immensely talented. They were smart, they were intelligent, they could sing, they could dance, they could run, they could jump, they could dribble a basketball well, they could shoot a basketball well, they could run a football extremely well, but their attitude was hindering them. Their attitude towards school. Sometimes they wouldn't even be academically eligible. It comes back to attitude. You guys are phenomenal. You guys are scholars. You guys are our future leaders. Like literally our future leaders. I'm going to continue to get old. You're young. You're young adults. At some point in time, you're going to be in a position that I'm in where you can influence and help others and give back and pay it forward. But you can't do that if you don't have the right attitude and perspective. Mindset is everything, because mindset determines and it shapes. It's a set of beliefs that shape how you view someone and something. Right or wrong? So you have to have a positive attitude. You have to say to yourself, how I do anything is how I do everything. And that matters. For an example, with my son, we're using for an example. I'm like, Isaiah, you're not going to like every subject matter in school. But the one thing you can do is embrace each and every day and say, you know what? I have an opportunity to learn.